cool swords, but not just cool, cold swords. All right, Night Guy here back at you. I have another review for you today on some of my favorite inexpensive swords. I guess these by classification aren't really swords. They actually fall into the category of sword machete. Um, I have quite a few sword machetes. It's one of my favorite categories lately. I kind of mentioned it in another video. I went over some of my tactical sword machetes. Straight out of the zombie hunter realm, survival realm. These days you put a backstrap on anything and it's now a survival piece. Anyways, these particular blades that I'm going to be mentioning are from Cold Steel's line of sword machetes. There are four blades that caught my eye in particular that I had been working with for quite some time. I've had each of these, three of these for a few years. Recently I just picked up another one. The first option that I went with when I started these was the Cold Steel Gladius. Then I moved on to the Cold Steel Katana Machete. I heard very good things about that one as well. Same thing with the Chinese War Sword, the Cold Steel Chinese War Sword Machete. I guess they call it, I believe is the proper name on that one. And then finally, last one I heard that's also ranked as one of the best was the Cold Steel Time Machete. So I have all four of them here. I'm going to do a quick rundown. The newest one is my Time Machete, so it hasn't seen as much of the abuse as the other blades have in particular. But I'm going to be putting it through its paces as well. Maybe not doing the same extensive tests, being that I've tried those tests with the other blades and got fairly the same results. Now, what I like about these in particular, each blade from this line is very historically inspired. On my channel, I don't go exactly for historical accuracy, not yet at least. I'm not against it in any way, but it can get very pricey very fast. So I prefer historically inspired, so you still get somewhat of an idea of, you're at least somewhat in the realm of what historically would have been implemented or used. And that's what I like about these. They give a modern day twist to the historical weapons. So we're going to get right in a second. If you see what I'm wearing here, just decided to sport some gear for you guys. I have one of my favorite training waistcoats. Just got some leather here, some leather on the side. It's a tough material. I'm not really sure. Kind of reminds me of the inside of leather. If anyone knows what you would call that, it's kind of like a suede. Let me know in the comments. I also have this forearm protector with a hand guard. Covers a good amount of your fingers there. It's just leather, not really even tough hide. In its own, on its own, in its current state, I really wouldn't recommend it for any serious usage. Even against blunted weapons, I feel like this just doesn't offer enough padding. But I had started on some works here. You see, I got some straps that I'm putting in. I'm going to be trying to put some plates in along this, coming at you soon. If anybody wants to see a video on that, let me know. We're currently working on the other one. That's why it's not on. I only have the one this side. But we will be finishing up that project soon, and I'll be showing you a video of that soon. I currently have my favorite, one of my favorite helmets, the conical shaped, nasal helm, I guess they call it, comboed with some chainmail. Kind of leads into an adventile. I'm not sure how accurate that was, the adventile and the chainmail hood mixing. I know most chainmail hoods are actually supposed to cover your chin or come up. Even some may have had flaps across the mouth. But this is good. It's riveted washer chainmail. I'm not really 100% sure, and let me know out there if you guys know. The debate of washer chainmail versus ring chainmail, riveted obviously, especially in Europe. What's more historically accurate. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the swords here. I'm going to start with the first one I got. A good friend of mine actually had received this particular one as a Christmas gift, and I was at his house, and he brought it out and showed it to me, and I was just so impressed. He got this for the same price I did. I think he paid $30. Well, not him, who got it for him, paid about $30. I'm not even sure I paid that much. I got this secondhand online. Anyhow, first thing I noticed off the bat when I picked it up, nice solid piece. You could definitely tell that it's fully tanged. It actually has a decent quality scabbard. They all do. They all kind of follow the same configuration of scabbard with this, felt kind of material with, looks like got some buttons in here going down. Nice hard plastic down here. I'm sorry, did I say scabbard? This is a sheath, meaning that it's soft, with a hard bottom, kind of like a scabbard would have. That's also buttoned in. Nice thick button strap here. I don't know if you can see that, the thickness of that. It's nice and thick. That buttons in and holds it. You can, wear this easy on a belt. And I can see you, unbuttoning it and, closing it back up, taking it on and off. Very easy. Let's go ahead and pull out the blade now. This is the Cold Steel Gladius. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get close there. Unfortunately, this one in particular, I have put through the ringer, as I have put through the next two blades that you're going to see. I'm just kind of showing you guys, I guess post torture testing, post usage video on these guys. It's definitely taken some damage there. The tip is a little blunted in there. I don't know if you could really see that right up here. Not too much rolling on this blade. I don't think I've hit anything hard enough. But I'm still impressed. It retains a decent sharpness and edge to it. I definitely want to sharpen it up more out the box. They don't come too terribly sharp. You may want to reprofile the edge yourself and sharpen it yourself with any techniques you know. I'm still new to this, guys. If you know any good sharpening techniques, feel free to leave them in the comments. Let me know. But what I liked about this one, nice purchase on it. This round disc pommel, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure if in the Roman era they would have called them pommels. It doesn't have much of a guard, but I like that, if you want, you could actually get a second hand on there and still get a nice powerful swing there. The weight and the balance of this weapon is just awesome. You can't beat that. I heard they would extend out sometimes, hold it by the pommel to get that extra reach. This is the Cold Steel Gladius machete. Almost forgot the name there. A very good beginning blade. This is definitely a high carbon steel. And I would really always recommend something like this to any beginner. I love how this blade is, got a nice thick profile, kind of comes in and then tapers outward and then tapers down into a fine point. Historically, I believe some of the Roman soldiers were even wearing chainmail. If not, they had segmented plates, something like this, Get through that chainmail pretty easy, get under those plates pretty easy, as well as deliver a good shot. Especially if you had a nice shield, it'd be real easy to command this blade around again and again and deliver attacks without getting too tired. Big fan of that. Big fan of this one. These swords. I guess if I had to give them a real category to fit in, I wouldn't call them sword machetes. Not that they can't be used as a machete in any way, but to me these really fit the category. They feel more like a sword than anything else. Really, they don't feel like a machete. They're a little bit heavy for a machete. The machetes I use are normally super lightweight, and they just don't have this kind of weight to them. Most machetes I use, you normally don't really, if you can get two hands on it, it's not really necessary, but I feel you could do some real devastating with this one with two hands. Same goes for the next one that I'm about to show you. The next one was very high rated as just about the best cutter. that they offer from this category of cold steel sword machetes. What we have here is the cold steel sword machete katana sword machete, I guess you could call it. Um, the owner of the video does an interesting video where he mentions that when he was younger, he always wanted a good real katana, but back then especially, katanas just weren't um, on the market, cheap in any way, shape, or form. They were all very expensive. So when he, designed the company and started producing swords, he decided he wanted to make something that could replicate a katana, but be, very, very affordable. Katanas nowadays aren't too expensive. I have some decent katanas I'm going to be doing some reviews on. I did an early review on another very inexpensive katana that proved to actually be very effective for the price range. I did the Calorico Last Samurai katana in another one of my videos. Go ahead and check that one out. Did a full review as well as some cut testing. And for a $30 sword, you can't beat it. Will I go on the limb and say it's a real katana? Probably not. I doubt any of the making of that blade was historically accurate. I noticed that had a full tang. Most katanas have a hidden tang. Anyhow, we're not going to get into the full makings of a katana right now. We're going to stick to these cold steel swords. But being, this one is in the katana realm, and I'm a big fan of katanas. I thought I'd get that one. It was definitely my second purchase after I saw what the cold steel Gladius could do. Again, it comes with the same type of sheath, with the hard. This one is fully cased. The last one was just 2 pieces of plastic. See, they're fully cased with the buttons. Has the little cold steel insignia on there. I don't know if you could see that. Brought to you by Cold Steel. And of course, yours truly, Night Guy. Has a nice shoulder strap. You could, I guess, effectively enough, put this bad boy over your shoulder. See if I could get this on with a helmet. Yeah. Maybe without the helmet. I'll try that in another video. You guys want to see me do a video actually wearing these? Give me a comment. Let me know. I'll do a video just on that. It definitely has a good length of adjustment here, if you could see. So it should fit just about anyone. Let's break that bad boy out. Now, so far, without showing you the videos, I will be uploading some cutting videos with this one soon. This particular blade, sword machete, small katana if you want to call it, is one of the best that I have so far at the cutting tests. Recently I did beat it up a little more than I should have, and I need to do some serious sharpening on it. But this blade has been tried and true. It hasn't failed me. Everything is still nice and sturdy on there. It's not wrapped, one of my complaints about this particular one, unlike the Gladius you see here, is the handle. This has a nice smooth handle, whereas this handle, I don't know if you can see, is made to be designed similar to a katana's wrap, but that's polymer plastic. So right out the door, that's gonna disqualify us from any sort of historical accuracy. But once again, I say the inspiration. You obviously know where the inspiration comes from. But being that this is a hard plastic, when you're doing your work, it really digs into your hands sometimes, so it can be a little discomforting. With a good glove, it definitely helps. I prefer to use a lot of my swords on the cutting tests just barehanded. You get a better purchase on your instrument there. It has a nice little cap. That's not an actual cap, but a nice little design for a cap, I guess, to look like a cap. This is plastic also, it doesn't come off. I don't know if you could see all the way in there. You can actually see the steel. This also goes fully tanged, which I'm not sure was the most accurate. I'm pretty sure most katanas were only hidden tang. These blades are pretty robust. They come pretty thick. The katana machete, the cold steel, Gladius machete that I just reviewed there, just showed you guys, about the same thickness. Um, this one has a little more of a curve than the other one. It has a nice tanto edge, comes to a nice point, which you would definitely get a good cut there. Good, nice little cut. If you hit them with that point, that tip there, you probably do some significant damage. You can also get a pretty serious thrust. And with that nice tapered edge, the way the spine aligns, you get a nice firm point to thrust with. It is curved, like most katanas are. I don't believe any of these blades are folded in any way. I'm not sure about heat treatment or quenching. I would like to look into that if anyone out there knows, on these katana sword machetes, if they are heat treated or quenched. Please let me know. This is another carbon steel blade. I believe these come, I believe all of these that I'm showing you today are 1060 carbon steel. This one I've definitely put through its paces. It's very light. I want to say if 2 pounds, barely. If 2 pounds, it's a very light weapon. It's not the longest. All of these are a little short. So, as far as swords are concerned, sword machete, I feel is just a marketing trick. What these actually are to me is just short swords. The shorter versions of the swords they were inspired by. A katana would be longer, or a tachi would be definitely longer than this. But this isn't bad. With the thickness of this blade, I think it helps to make up for some of the cutting power that it might have had if it was a little bit longer. But either way, the grip, even though it can be a little discomforting after a while, is easy to get your hands in and lined up, for a good cut each time. You can see on this one, there's definitely some rust along the edge. Same thing with my Gladius there. Some scuff marks along the paint job, the black paint job on each of these. I'm not too upset about that, after having these for a few years. This is the worst of the damage, and when I say I put these things through the ringer, I put them through the ringer. I've hit, water jugs to concrete to chopping wood. I even did a few swings and missed and actually hit some cinder blocks with this particular model. And there's really hardly any edge damage along this blade, which to me is just very impressive. Can't beat that for the price. This is another one. I'm not sure about the prices on them now, but when I got this one, it was, I don't think I spent over $40 on this one. So yeah, definitely feels similar to how a katana handles. At least the katanas I've held. I don't know how historically accurate all of them were, but the balance is good. It has the nice little ring guard. I believe they call that a suba. You can see that there. Give you a little bit of protection on your hands. So far, this is definitely one of my favorites of the four. The four are all in a category on their own, and each in their own way are one of my favorites of just overall of any sword that I currently possess. But this is one of the tops of that category. So we're going to set that one down now. We're going to move on to the next one in the lineup that I got. Now, this next particular model was said to be superior to the katana machete. And I'm definitely going to say it's up for debate, and it has its qualities where it can be. But to me, these two weapons are just too different to really put them into the same category. And I'll explain in a second. At first glance, they look very similar. This is the Chinese war sword machete made by Cold Steel. Has a little ring pommel here. Similar type of wrap design. Obviously, it's not a real wrap. That's once again just polymer plastic, which would rule it out. I'll break this out and show you this guard a little more. I'm not sure how accurate that is. But once again, you got your adjustable arm strap. That's completing the survival status of this piece. the soft sheath into the little plastic cap at the end, buttoned in. Nice sturdy button strap, just like the other one. This one you don't wear on your side, this one you wear on the back. It even has buttons going along it, so presumably if you could reach back there and unbutton it, you may even be able to draw this from the back. I love the sound of that. You heard that? That's how you know we're in business. Let's set that down. This is the Chinese war sword. I believe it's called a Dao or a Pu Dao. Please, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. If anyone out there in the comment section can fill me in on the exact historical name. I've seen these in many movies and video games. Pretty confident that this is based off of a historically accurate weapon. Anyways, I love this bad boy. Now, comparing it to the katana machete, at glance they would seem very similar. Curved blade, almost the same length in blade, almost the same length in handle. But you see up here, you get a little more meat on the front and a little more handle on the back with this ring, which I should say not handle, a little more mass, which the way the mass is distributed on this weapon is very, very nice, but it is heavier. It's definitely heavier than the katana machete. But this one is just such a mean cleaver. This thing just eats through everything. Sharpness, they're all about the same sharpness. The sharpness will get worn down. Then again, worn down how? Worn down against what is a better question. And what I was using these on, like I've mentioned before, I've used these to chop wood. Swords aren't really meant for chopping wood, neither are really machetes for that matter. So that they even stood up to what they have is very impressive by my standards. I'll come on in here and show you a little bit of the damage. Out of all the swings that I did, I have really only one roll right there, if you could see. That nasty little roll there. But I'm going to try to grind that out, resharpen this up, get it back up to its standard. You see some scuff marks there and some rust stains. Got a little oil. Tried to clean them up a little bit before the video. But that's all you're really going to get. That's the worst that's going to happen to these bad boys. Is just some rust along the edge there. But for what you're getting, you can't complain. I can maneuver this thing really, really easily. Again, real carbon steel construction, full carbon steel, full tang blade all the way through, down through the handle. I'm a big fan when swords are peened. So it's kind of the same idea where it goes all the way through to the handle. This isn't a peen, but this is all one piece from the blade through to here with these polymer